Good afternoon, everybody.
Hello.
So we thought we'd do a slightly different video today, didn't we? We're going to call it Our Top Tips Starting Van Life in 2025, and we're going to share our experiences of what we've gone through and what we've learned.
Yeah.
Because obviously we've been 577 days today, believe it or not, we've been in this van.
Yeah.
So I think we know a little bit about
Cue the dog going for a drink.
van life. Yes, cue the dog going for a drink, as Catherine says. So I've wrote down some pointers on here. Things to talk about. It might be different for everybody, but we're going to go into that.
This is our take on things.
Well, we can give other people's takes, different circumstances.
Yeah.
So the first thing I've wrote down is plan, and as everybody knows,
We don't plan anything.
we don't plan
Nothing.
a great deal
No.
of anything
No.
when it comes to doing big trips, where we probably should do.
Sometimes we've he's still drinking.
Yeah, it's dogs for you, dogs.
Yeah. Sometimes we've sort of thought we should have planned this, but we just don't, and that's us.
But yeah, this is all going to be part of starting van life, because it's not just planning a trip of where to go, it's planning how long you're going to do van life for, planning where you plan on stopping during van life. It all comes into under plan. So yeah, long-term plan. Because some people watch us and they go, I'd love to do what you're doing.
Yeah.
But what is it you love to do what we're doing? Is it just the nice places we go? Because it ain't all going to be that.
Or is it the life, the living in the motorhome, the whole...
Yeah.
You know, is it the whole shebang, or is it just the travelling bit?
Yes, so planning is probably one big key top tip. That's going to be number one top tip, planning. So plan out how you want van life to pan out for you.
We'd thought about
personally.
it for a good few years, hadn't we?
Yeah, well, we didn't really plan far ahead.
We didn't plan far ahead, but because we were already, you know, regular going out and about in the van we'd got at the time, and you know, we were quite clued up on staying off grid and things like that, weren't we? So we weren't like complete newbies to it.
Yeah, so planning is essential, and some people can't get along very well with just parking anywhere.
No.
So you've got to take that into factor if you're planning to do something like what we do, or a similar type of van life. And that brings us on to another one, base. Some people want to do van life and they have a base.
Yeah.
Most people have either still got the house.
I think that's a big worry. That's one of the biggest worries for people that are considering doing van life. That is that they feel they need a base.
Yes.
But a base can come in many different things. You know, a base can be keeping your flat or your house and renting it out. So you've always got that option if you don't like full-time van life. You've got a campsite, you've got a seasonal pitch
As a base. Which a lot of people do.
A lot of people do that. You know, you can buy a patch of land as a base. There's various things that you can do.
There is. For us, we did think about doing a seasonal pitch. We've kind of gone away from the idea a little bit, but we're still open to the idea.
We are still open to the idea. It is a lot of money.
It's the money thing. At the moment, we enjoy moving about a lot. I know we've been stationary here.
You see, that's where it would have come into use, wouldn't it? Like now, for the month we've been here, we would have had a base to be at.
But would we use it all the time? So
No.
you have to think to yourself, if you get a base, are you happy just to stay in one spot and not move about, or do you want the moving about?
You've got to decide which side of it you want to do.
Yeah, because so that goes in with the planning a little bit of how you want to start your van life journey, if you want to start a van life journey. And this is what we're going to tell people, is what we've learned and what we think.
Yeah.
So people's opinions will differ on the subject.
Oh, absolutely. Everybody's got an opinion, and they're not always the same opinion, are they?
Yeah, so number 3, I put free spirit. So forget the base, forget the plan. Just be a free spirit.
Yeah.
And just go here when you want.
Like we do.
I think we're kind of free spirits.
Yeah.
But not really free spirits as in the sense free spirit, but that's how we tend to be when it comes to
because
van
we just
life.
bit and bob about.
We bit and bob here and there. So we're free spirit bit and bobbers.
Yes.
We'll call it free spirit,
Yeah.
because people will say you're not really free spirits because you're using campsites, you're doing this, you're doing that. But yeah, we just kind of waffle along about our van life journey. We don't really know where we're going with van life journey, and we don't really know where we want it to take us at the minute. We're learning as we go along what we want from it.
Once you actually take the plunge, you learn a heck of a lot actually within it, don't you, within the time, and quite a lot within the first few months, to be fair.
You learn what suits you as a person, because
and what doesn't.
What suits us might not suit you guys.
No.
So you have to learn whether you want to be a free spirit like us. Some people, I think, like how we do it, whereas we just... But sometimes it can be a bit stressful not knowing.
Yes, it can.
Where you're stopping day to day.
And
it gets tiring.
If you haven't got a backup plan and your first plan fails, like for your overnight stop, say it's full or it's closed or you're too big for it, or
the times we've been caught out when we've not planned a second stop,
and then we try and kill each other because it's not,
So that goes back to planning. So the first three, a plan, a base and a free spirit, is all to do with...
It's all sort of mixed in together, isn't it?
Where you're going to be, and where you see yourself, whether you're going to be stationary, where you're going to be moving about.
You have, especially, the first three that we've covered, you do have to think about them, even if it's just a little bit.
Yeah.
And have a little idea, like a rough idea in your head of what's going to be what and how you're going to do it.
Definitely. And then I've wrote down power. So what I've done is I've wrote down keywords. Power. How much power will I need? Well, we do get asked that quite a bit. We're starting out, we're going to be running this and this, what do you think? During the summertime, power's not so bad.
Alright, yeah.
This time of year, winter, it's the shortest day today filming this. Power is rubbish.
Yeah.
Solar is rubbish unless you've got...
Well, solar's non-existent, is it really?
You've got less light hours. If you've got flat panels, they're a waste of time. So, we can have tilting panels, get a little bit, but you're still... Winter time's...
difficult
for power.
It is in the UK.
If you're not moving about, you're not getting any power from the engine, so then you need a generator. But it all depends on your power needs.
Yeah, see, this is why we like France, don't we? Because it's... The way of life in a motorhome over there is a lot easier than it is in the UK.
Yeah, so you need to work out what sort of power you think you're going to be using. And also another thing with power is, we did a live yesterday and somebody says, they've just bought the 600 amp hour Fogstar battery. I think it's 608 amp hour, I think it is. The bigger the battery is, the more they take to charge. We've got a 50 amp charger on ours, so we can charge at 50 amps per hour. When we're flat, we need it running for 6 hours to charge it. So then and that's 300 amps. If we go to a 600 amp, then we need generator on for 12 hours to charge it. So we've always got to think about charging it as well as having it. That's a big thing. Yeah. Because you can be taking a lot of time charging it. But if you don't mind going on a camp, people have seen how we do it. Yeah. Pop on a campsite now and again. You've got various options. You've got juicy brucey cables to use the EV park ups. You've got all that you can use. Generator you can use. Driving you can use. Solar you can use. So power's a big thing to think about. What you want to do really, especially if you want to use air fryers and big juicy appliances. Another important one. This is 3 words. This one.
Oh gosh, go on then.
3 words.
I've not seen this list.
So yes, size of motorhome.
It's a big one.
Think about the size of the motorhome. If you're thinking of doing van life and you haven't got a motorhome yet, you're thinking of a van or you're thinking of whatever, there is pros and cons
to them all.
To whichever you get.
Yeah.
Good thing about our van is it's 9 metres, there's plenty of room for us all.
I think you've got to decide on 2 main factors when you're choosing your motorhome.
Yeah.
Number 1 is the layout. What layout would suit you best? For us, we needed the space, we needed, a lot of room for the 4 of us, and we also needed quite a lot of storage, hence the reason we changed vans within the first year. The Contiki didn't have the storage that we desperately needed, but again, that's something we learnt as we went along.
Definitely.
And you live and learn. It's a very true saying.
But we've learnt a bit more since then. You don't need all that rubbish.
No, you don't.
So, like I say, the pros and cons to this motorhome. Pros are it's massive. There's loads of room in it. The cons are parking it.
Parking it, definitely.
So 2 short answers.
Yeah.
Parking it is a problem.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. The second one would be where you're parking, where you want to stop, what sort of parking you want to be doing. If you like us and you'd park anywhere, it's not a problem.
Yeah.
But if you're ones that want to be like in secure car parks, and that you have to think about what size.
But we've been to lots of places and had to drive off and go somewhere else because it's too big.
Yes.
So pros and cons of motorhome size is very, very important.
Yes, as well as all the height barriers you come across.
with van conversions, obviously van conversions, unless it's a professional conversion or been professionally done, it can be hard to keep them warm.
Yeah.
Because they're a metal box essentially. I mean, these aren't much more than a metal box, but they are insulated.
They are very insulated,
and they've got double glazed windows, which are only plastic, so they only. So yeah, there's that to consider. But yeah, definitely size of motorhome, and what you think you might need. Some people love the end lounge. We miss the end lounge.
We loved the end lounge, didn't we?
We do miss the end lounge.
A proper chill out zone for us. It was having the big sofas, room to put your feet up. You got the telly in front of you, but we were constantly moving stuff, juggling stuff around,
moving stuff back to front.
Yeah,
back to front.
and it moving stuff from the front to the cab bed, cab bed to the front. It drove us potty.
And if you are going to go full time and live in a van, and you like biking, you really want your bike inside your van.
Definitely.
Because we set off and we had the bikes on the back of the van, and you're constantly thinking...
You're a nervous wreck, thinking they're going to get nicked.
You know, they're going to attract thieves' bikes on the back of your van. No matter what cover you've got on it, lock you've got on it, they'll get them off.
Yeah, they will.
So we
know what they're doing.
were always thinking about that. So yeah,
it did make us on edge, didn't it? Especially at night time.
It's another thing to think about. That
is
if you want bikes and you're going full-time van life, where are you going to put them?
Yes.
Think of that one. This one we get this as a question quite often. What to do when you get older, or what will you do? Worry about it when you get there.
Yeah, well, yeah, simple answer.
Pretty simple answer. Worry about it when you get there. Don't worry. We've met quite a few people on the road who are, well on in their life,
in the 60s and 70s, yeah.
And they love it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
best thing they ever did, living in the van.
We've met, obviously, then you come into health issues and, what do you do about health? That's kind of another subject, really.
Yeah.
But, worry about it when you're older. Life's too short for worrying.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely right.
What ifs? It's like what ifs, isn't it? So I wouldn't.
Just don't worry about them. Worry about them when they happen.
Yeah, worry about that when they happen. I don't know what we'll do when we're older. We probably will find some sort of a base at some stage, somewhere we can.
I would think so.
Hop onto.
Yeah.
Will we do this forever, moving about?
Probably not.
Probably not, but we can't say.
No, you can't. No.
I think we'll always enjoy it. And,
definitely.
Boo won't be around forever. God bless him.
No.
Zach might not be around forever because he might want to go off and spread his wings
own life,
and do his own thing. So then there'll be only two of us, and that'll bring us on to size of motorhome. We'll definitely have a smaller motorhome.
We'd definitely downsize.
We'll definitely go to something like a 7.5 metre.
Yeah.
Another good thing is for fuel consumption. So that's what we're thinking about. If you live in your van, fuel consumption, stuff like that. So yeah, that's another thing to think about for us. Anyway.
So I mean, this does what to the gallon?
Yeah, we get 22 if we're really steady, but generally 20.
Yeah, it's not a lot.
So it's not a lot. There is ones out there that seem to be getting astronomical miles more than we do. I don't know quite how they do it, some of them, but yeah, that's something to think about. Next one, medication. That's probably quite a
I think that the next
question.
Two come in together, don't they, really? What you've written down.
Well, it's just for people that don't know, really. Because there'll be people watch this video that actually probably never watched us before on my one. Some of these subjects we will have gone over in previous videos, but we felt the need to do an updated version for 2025. So quite often get asked about medication.
Oh, pardon me.
Because we both have medication for like heartburn, that kind of stuff.
And Zach also is on his monthly asthma meds.
Yes.
So we've got to make sure that we can access monthly medications wherever we are.
So whenever you're in England, it's dead easy, isn't it?
Yes. Whenever you're in England, your medication, and when you order your prescription, you remove your nominated pharmacy, because like obviously living in the house we had a nominated pharmacy. You remove that, so your prescription then goes directly onto the NHS spine. Once it's on the spine, which is its first port of call when the prescription comes through, you can then access that prescription of any pharmacy in the UK. Not Scotland, not
Scotland's
Ireland.
a different ball game.
Scotland and Ireland are completely different ball games, but anywhere in the UK you can access it easily, very easily.
Yes.
Scotland, no, you can't get them. So if you're travelling outside of,
you can get them in Scotland, but you have to register.
You have to be registered up there.
So we're just explaining the easy way to do it.
Yes, yeah. So for like us, when we take trips abroad, like for instance, we've just been to Ireland and then into Scotland, you can order 3 months at once.
So you can take it with
So
you.
you can take it with you, which is exactly what we do.
Yeah, so it's easy as that, really.
Yeah.
Like I say, we're not going to go into it in too much depth.
No.
Well, you can get it in Scotland. Basically, you've got to register at a local doctor's in Scotland.
Yes, to be able to access it.
To get the prescription. That's as simple as it is.
Yeah.
The heartburn tablets I get, you can actually buy them from
Home Bargains.
Home Bargains. It works out dearer than a prescription. That's
It does, but at least you can get them.
That's why I get them on prescription. Like, we pay for prescriptions because we, you know.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what the word is. I've lost the word.
We don't claim any sort of benefits or anything like that, so we don't get free prescriptions. We do pay for them all.
Address. What were you going to use for an address? So if you don't know, you need an actual address for
driving licence, insurances, official documentation.
Yeah.
Your doctors, your dentist.
Yeah. So you have to have an address. So a lot of people use family members' address,
family or friend,
or something like that. You can't use PO box addresses. You can use them for like getting parcels sent and stuff, but you can't use them for physical
official documents
like your car insurance and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, use a friend's address or a relative's address.
Obviously
normally.
Ask them first and clear it with them.
Yeah. Income. So for us,
we've been asked this quite a bit just lately.
Well, it's not so much a Q&A. This, it's more about talking about how other people.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is people have been quite inquisitive as to it just lately.
Yeah, so income, when we first set off on the road 577 days ago, we were literally earning about £60 a month off of YouTube. So we had no income when we left our jobs.
No.
We got paid up to the week. I think finished a week or two before we left out.
Yeah, I finished on the day.
At that point, we got no more money coming in. So we had our savings from our house sale. So initially, when we set off, we would use our savings.
Well, yeah.
So if we needed fuel, we put it in our savings account. If we needed shopping, we did that.
But that was the plan, just to see us through to the end of the first year. Yeah. We were then looking at working after that, weren't we?
Yes.
As campsite wardens for the income.
Campsite wardens. So for us, that's how we set off on the journey. Then now the journey changed for us because YouTube took off a bit more and social media on Facebook took off a bit more. So we now earn money. So we earn money off of YouTube and we earn money off of Facebook. So there are two incomes.
Yes.
Besides any product reviews, if we sell things or what have you. That's our income as well. So everything's classed as an income.
Yeah, so, if you do decide to do the YouTube side of things and vlog what you're going to do, you do need to be registered as self-employed.
Yes, so
we're
just
both
be careful with that. Registered for self-assessment. We both are, because we can earn a combined amount wage together. Because there's two of us. So yeah, for us, obviously social media pays for what we do. Our videos pay for what we do.
Yeah, it's our wage.
It's not the biggest earner in the world. And I do know there's some channels out there that say, oh, we'd love to get to your stage where it pays enough to... It's hard.
It is hard.
It's very hard.
And it takes a long time to build it up.
You're talking kind of like a minimum wage job.
Yeah.
But a lot of hours.
Yeah.
It's actually built up a bit more for us. The ad revenue goes up and down with... popular months like November, December, they're the most popular months
because it's Christmas.
Because it's Christmas, so you don't always get high payments. You get lower payments January, February. Views can vary.
Yeah, you do have to be careful
videos.
In certain months what you're spending.
Yeah, so when it comes to income, a lot of people do it differently. Some people want to do the campsite warden role, where as a couple you can both earn a wage each, and you can earn a very good wage each.
Yeah.
And get a pitch supplied free of charge,
with
free
all your electric and everything on it. Yeah,
that's what we was going to do. That's what we would have done this year.
Yeah.
And then winter time, travel, and enjoy.
Yeah.
But for us, it's worked out differently.
Yeah, it has. Yeah.
And we are very grateful to anybody that
Everybody
watches
who
us and supports us.
Yeah.
And if you're not subscribed to our channel, do consider subscribing, because we do a lot of videos daily. We do a
and
live.
It doesn't cost you a thing.
Twice a week. No, it doesn't cost a thing. Make sure you drop us a comment as well if you're new.
Yeah,
or if
we like to say hello to new subscribers.
Find this video helpful, but like I say, income. I know some people do online stuff and they can earn money like that.
Yeah, working online. Yeah.
There's a lot of them kind of things like that. I don't fully understand it myself. It's not something we've ever done, is it?
No.
Some people do things like seasonal work and go to somewhere and be based for months and earn a good chunk of money.
Yeah, and then use it to travel through the winter.
Off.
Yeah.
So yeah, income it varies for everybody.
It does. It does.
But for us, YouTube and Facebook pays for us to do it.
It does.
Like I say, you're never gonna get silly rich.
You're not rolling in money, but it covers us comfortably month to month.
It does cover us comfortably month to month. But that's another thing you've got to think about as well.
Yeah.
I haven't written this one down. Another tip: if you motorhome, eventually it will need replacing, and a couple of people have said that to us. Now, I mean, technically you could probably run this for 30-40 years. You might need another engine at some point.
Yeah.
A lot of repairs in that time, but technically it could last for a long time, this van. But it probably won't, and we probably need to upgrade, but that's probably when we'll look at downsizing to something a bit smaller.
Yeah.
Just to suit the two of us, should that day ever come.
Should it, yeah.
We don't want that day to ever come.
No, absolutely not.
Stay as four of us forever.
Yeah. But I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, so we don't want that to ever happen. We do have it just be four of us forever, but you know, we're realists. You know, things happen in life.
Yeah.
So yeah, income. Think about how you can support yourself. If you've got savings to start with, what'll bring us right into the next question I've wrote down: cost of van life. How much does it cost for van life?
Depends how much food you eat and fuel you use.
No, it's a big question for a lot of people, because a lot of people think, well, is it a lot cheaper than a house? Of course it's going to be cheaper
it's massive
than a house.
amount cheaper than a house.
There's quite a few videos out there, people saying, no, don't believe the whatever, it's not as...
You're always going to have your expenses, aren't you?
It's not as cheap as you think. I'm going to go into some rough costs, what I think off the top of my head. Now, obviously your shopping is going to be your shopping regardless.
Yeah.
So whether you lived in a house...
Yeah, that can vary as to, you know, your personal choice.
Some people probably only eat 40 quid's worth of shopping a week.
Yeah, some people eat lavish.
Some people will eat £150 worth, some people will eat £300 worth, so that's more
your choice,
a personal thing.
Excuse me.
Fuel, that's another one. If you're driving miles every day, you're going to be using a lot of fuel. Which can be
I think that's
expensive.
One that's benefited us while we've been here throughout December, isn't it? It's that we've hardly moved the van.
Yes, we've not put any fuel in since... Well, when did we put fuel in last?
Coming back from Scotland, wasn't it?
York. I think we put fuel in last.
Oh, we did,
York, somewhere like that. So yeah, if you're not moving about much, fuel ain't going to be a massive cost. No. But it's there to, you know, think about. Insurance, now full-time insurance, some people ask, Sterling do full-time insurance.
Yes.
It is quite expensive, full-time insurance. You can get other insurances like 365-day insurance. I don't really fully know how they all fully cover you, but Sterling do full-time motorhome insurance, so that's who we'd recommend. I don't think there's any others out there, but some people might know.
Yeah.
Of another one.
I know it's very difficult to find companies that do that.
Yeah. So you've got your insurance is what you'd normally pay anyway on a motorhome.
You've got your tax.
Food is what you'd normally pay. Tax. Everybody has to pay road tax.
Yeah.
Or emissions tax.
Yeah.
So you've got them anyway. So they're all normal costs. So.
Then you've just got your cost of living, really, haven't you?
Gas.
And any repairs.
Gas. Now we use LPG, and I would say on average, and I mean, we're not shy with the gas.
No, we're not.
If we want the gas heating on, we want to cook something, want the water heater on, we just put it on. We don't think about the cost of it, we just do it. And we probably use on average about 30 quid a month in gas, because ours are refillable.
A month, not a week. Month. Yeah.
So about £30 a month, I would say on average, is what we use in gas. So you're looking at, what, 350 quid a year in gas.
Yeah.
So, I don't know how much a house would be, probably double that. But yeah, we don't scrimp on gas. No. If we want the oven on, we put the oven on.
Our house was a 3-bed semi, and I know our electric bill was over £100 a month for electric. We didn't have gas. Plus, you got the oil on top for heating.
Oh, I'm yawning.
So that's, compared to that, it's nothing, is it really?
Yeah. Other costs, obviously, you've got running costs, tyres, servicing it. If you can do repairs yourself like I can, then save yourself a few quid. Yeah. But on top of that, you've got no water rates, you've got no council tax, you've got none of them.
No mortgage, no rent, no nothing like that.
Obviously, we've still got to pay income tax, we've still got to pay national insurance.
Yes.
We don't escape none of that. We still have to do it. We have to declare everything that we earn. This is our first full year of doing it, because we've never really earned enough before.
No.
So we're yet to experience all that fully, but we have.
Come April, we'll experience like a full year's run, and
we have to keep. Yeah, but other costs. If you can avoid going on campsites, you can probably live quite cheaply.
Yeah, I think if you've got a pet as well, you've got to take the cost of food and vets and everything into account. Have a little side fund like a lot of people do for paying for things like that.
Yeah, we're lucky because we've got our savings from our house.
Yeah, so should we encounter any problems,
should we have a major problem,
we've got a fallback.
We're a little bit covered in that respect, but obviously we don't want to just chuck all the savings at something.
No.
Unless we had to, then
well,
we
the savings are just that, and we don't touch them, luckily enough. So
yeah, so that's all the main 10 points I wanted to cover in this video. Like I say, cost of van life, it varies so much between the.
I think it just depends on yourself. I think, and your own situations.
It's better abroad. It's cheaper for fuel. It's cheaper for food.
Easier.
It's easier for a motorhome.
You've got
abroad.
airs everywhere. Some with free electric, free water. It's they cater for as well.
So that's something to think about if you're doing van life. If you want.
Especially in a winter.
Well, a perfect example is if we was in Spain now for 3 months of a winter, we wouldn't use 30 quid a month gas.
No.
The gas would probably be 10 quid a month. So we'd save a bit there. It's not a huge amount, but electricity as well, you're going to get a bit more solar in Spain than you're going to get in the UK. So food's cheaper, drink's cheaper, so the way of living's cheaper.
Yes.
So if you can get your send down to Spain, that's another way of doing van life.
A lot of people do that now.
Well, a lot of people like the warmth.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't mind topping my tan up a bit, actually. Put my cushion behind my back. Oh, I'm getting backache because I tend to lean forward when I'm talking, try and get a bit closer to the camera. So there are top tips for starting van life in 2025.
Yeah. And likewise, if you've got any concerns or questions, just pop them in the comments, and if it is something we can give you our advice on or our take on, then we're happy to answer it for you.
Because like I say, it's a lot different for everybody. We know other van lifers, we've got friends with quite a few van lifers that don't do YouTube, so they don't get the income off of YouTube, don't have to move about as much to make videos off of YouTube, because there's a lot of different things how we do it to how other people might do it.
Yeah, but it's each to their own. It goes back to that personal choice thing.
Yeah, like I say, when it comes to vlogging, we've got into a bit of a rhythm with it now, haven't we? Daily vlogging, our lives, how we do it. Try and be honest with people, and just show the real side to van life, what really happens.
Good days and bad days. Yeah,
because there's different types of YouTube channels out there. We've got people like the roaming Radfords. They've got a house, they've got a business, they've got a lovely big motorhome. They've got some beautiful places.
Oh yeah.
But some people like that, and some people like what we do.
Yeah. The different side to it.
The different sides to it, you know, whether you've got a bit of money to chuck it or whether you haven't got a bit of money to chuck at it. We know Stephen Lindsay quite well.
We do.
And so there's different sides to van life. So a lot of people are watching us for like the maybe if you can't afford some of the bigger holidays and that, and where we've been. And somebody messaged us recently, didn't they? And they're going down to Spain.
Yes.
And they're going to Benidorm.
Yes.
And they're pretty much stopping at the same places we'd been to.
Yeah, because they'd seen where we'd been on our route round Spain and thought, you know what, there's some lovely places. We'll have a few of them for our trip.
So what we tend to I think 99% of the time we've done it. If we stop at a nice air or a campsite and that and whatever, and we think it's nice, we put it in the link of the description. There'll be a Google Maps link. We don't use what 3 words.
Sorry, heater's just kicked in. It says start heating.
Yes, that's another thing, winter, keep him warm. And you can keep these vans warm, no problem. Earlier in the year it was really, really cold.
It was.
And we kept this van lovely and toasty.
So toasty we had to get up and turn it down in the middle at night.
I've lost my train of thought. What were I saying?
Travelling down to Spain, places we visit, keeping links in the description.
So the links are in the description to a Google map. Now I have had people ask, why don't you put the what 3 words up on the screen? And I do pretty simple. If somebody says if it's in the description, it means you haven't got to go back and watch the video if you didn't catch where it was.
Yeah, you just go to the description.
And I think everybody's got Google Maps. That's why we tend to use that then. What 3 words.
We don't really use what 3 words.
I don't use it at all. I can't stand it. I really can't stand what 3 words.
No, it is a bit annoying.
Yeah,
it serves its purpose. It has a good purpose.
If you're at I tell you what, it's really good for. If you're at a massive festival and your friends are there and they go, we're near one of them flags.
Yeah.
And you look around, there's millions of flags.
Hundreds of flags.
They can what 3 words you their location and you can walk to where they are.
Yeah, well, it's
So
good. It's good in emergency situations as well.
Yes, I don't disagree. It's not a good app. It's just
We don't use it.
I don't like it.
No,
we did use it in the early days, but
I think if somebody messages and says, "Look, I'm struggling. Could you possibly give me the what 3 words for XYZ?" We'll try our best to do it, but we do struggle a little bit going back
Google
on things.
Maps.
Yeah, we're Google Map users.
We've got TomTom. We've had all different sat navs.
TomTom annoys you.
I've tried Copilot. I've tried it all.
Yeah.
And
TomTom has a mind of its own. It just yaps randomly.
Like a woman. I just love Google Maps. It's just my go-to for Google Maps. I just love how Google Maps works.
Yeah.
Just love how
it's
it
clever.
works.
It is clever.
So the Google Map links are in there. So like I say, if you've watched one of our trips and you've seen it and you think, oh, mine's stopping there, they're all there. If it's somewhere we thought were really bad and didn't like it, and we don't put it in there. So that's generally where it is.
I think when, just going off that subject just a little bit, if you are thinking of doing this winter sun thing in van life and you're worrying about finding gas, you can actually download an app called My LPG EU, is it?
Yes, and that's basically all Europe.
Yes, it basically lists all the LPG stations and that in Europe, and it's dead easy to use.
Yeah, and just a quick one at the end of this video. People say, which app do you use? Our go-to app, which we use 90% of the time, is Search for Sites.
It is.
More than Park for Nights, more than anything else.
Yeah, we do use Park for Nights, but it's like our second one, isn't it? Second option.
They don't pay us Search for Sites, but that is what we prefer to use.
We find that very good to use, that. Very good.
And them kind of apps, pay for them because they cost literally nothing.
Yeah,
you get your money back in.
They're under a tenner for the year, and I think such as us, everywhere we go and we stop, I try and leave a review. I try and remember to leave a review.
The places we've been and seen 10 motorhomes there, and there's no review for 2 years, and you think, but this was all right. When you find somewhere and you look at reviews and say there isn't one for like the last 12 months, and you think, why is that? You tend to sort of avoid it, whereas it might be the best one you've ever come across. Yeah, we stayed at them when they've had no reviews, which I can't understand because somebody's put it on there, but they're decided not to put a review on there. Yeah, so if you see a review for somewhere and it's listed by Sprinter Cat, that's me. Yes, it's not. We don't come up Field View Adventures. I don't know why, because I think we were just a bit slack when we set that up. No, I set my account up when we were in the Sprinter van, and that's why I set it up as Sprinter Cat. Yeah, so always make sure you leave a review. Yes, an honest review, and it lets other people know. Yeah, what it's like. It helps people, people like us. Yeah, so I hope you found this video informative and helpful if you've been thinking about starting van life. So that's our tips. We probably missed a load. Oh yeah, there's only so much you can fit into one. So if there's anything you want to know, drop it down in the comments and ask us. Yes, we could always, if we do get a lot of questions, we could always run another one, couldn't we? We could. And answer questions. Yes. So thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure you subscribe if you're not. It's very much appreciated. Give us a little thumbs up if you can, and we'll see you all tomorrow. See you tomorrow.